What's up, everybody? This is Steve from Altcoin Buzz, and I wanted to talk to you today about a couple topics that are hot in the news right now, and one of them is surrounding Coincheck and their decision to refund all the coin holders who were hacked during the NEM heist that took place yesterday. Big time money, potentially the largest heist in history. And then also, Tether has just confirmed that it is severing ties with the auditing firm that was auditing their finances. So potential shaky ground there on the USDT. So let's take a look right now at what's going on with NEM. So NEM, this is a distributed ledger technology. So these guys, let's dive in and you'll see how the market news had affected these trading prices over the last few days. So yesterday at the announcement from Coincheck that they had hundreds of millions of dollars worth of NEM stolen from their hot wallet, they dropped about 25-30%. Don't quote me on the exact math, but it was very drastic. And then today, right around the time that they had announced that they would be refunding the customers for their lost money, their lost NEM, the price has rebounded very favorably, actually higher than the price at before the heist took place. Although they have not actually announced how and when they're going to refund the customers, but it's been decided that they're not going to refund them necessarily in NEM tokens, but they're going to have to fund them out of the finances of the exchange. That's a massive amount of money because the street value, the market value yesterday, I believe, was over $700 million stolen, but they're calculating a different weighted average. So let's take a look here that there were over 260,000 users that became victims yesterday of the NEM hack. So they're going to basically refund 523 million NEM tokens to the tune of $534 million USD. But they're calculating a rolling average of 88.549 yen. That should be weighing in slightly less than the $1 price, but that still seems to have caused the market to behave favorably. So that's all great. It also seems like there's some confidence in the Japanese markets overall, but I don't know firsthand if the exchange has fixed its security issues that led to the hijacking, the heist, the theft in the first place. But that's big news there. So if you were affected, if you're one of the listeners that was affected by that and you had not yet heard the news, they have just announced that today on Saturday. So if you want to check out NEM's price, NEM's website, we've talked about them a couple times. You can go to nem.io and watch a little bit on what those guys are about. We're not going to dive into that now, but that's kind of breaking news that Coincheck has decided to refund their customers, and we'll keep you guys up to date if anything changes on that or there's more information on how they're going to distribute that. So this is another set of big news. This is regarding Tether. This is USDT, and the Tether token has often been considered a safety net for investors to go back into rather than taking their coins out of the market or their capital out of the market. But there's been a lot of speculation throughout 2017, way before even the market had done a major run-up, that perhaps Tether was not sticking to their guns and backing every Tether token that was out there and distributed with $1 in financial reserves. And that's part of their business model. Not that they're required to do it, but that's what they said they're doing. So it says here that Tether, the issuer of the dollar-pledged cryptocurrency USDT, said its relationship with the audit firm Friedman LLP has ended. And this is a significant woe because there has been speculation from many people, but mostly Bitfinex, which is one of the users out there who has been throwing shade and investigating on his own time what's going on between the auditing firm Friedman LLP and USDT, and basically stating in no uncertain terms that we shouldn't necessarily blindly trust either of them. So here's the statement from the spokesperson. I'll just read that to you. It says that we confirm the relationship with Friedman is dissolved. Given the excruciatingly detailed procedures Friedman was undertaking for the relatively simple balance sheet of Tether, it became clear that an audit would be unattainable in a reasonable time frame, as Tether is the first company in the space to undergo this process and pursue this level of transparency. There is no precedent set to guide the process, nor any benchmark against which to measure its success. Well, I tell you what I'd say. I'd measure the success based on the fact of whether they actually had 1 USDT for every token in distribution. I mean, that would at least make people feel better. But let's take a look at what's going on here. So, are people selling Tether? Possibly. Let's take a look here. A lot of trading volume going on. But Tether's meant to stay at 1 USDT. It's meant to self-correct. And right now they've got a circulating supply of 1.6 billion. And what we want to take a look at is how that circulating supply has changed over time. So you'd want to dive into looking at that, because there has been a massive amount, and you can see it right here in this case because it's tied to the US dollar. The market cap will directly represent how many tokens are out there since it's 1 US dollar. Normally you couldn't necessarily ascertain this just by looking at the market cap of a coin. So if we look at a year ago, somewhere around here, man, a year ago they had like no market capital. So you can see why people are a little bit shady. So about a year ago, there was $14 million, $15 million of market capital. So they had supposedly $14, $15 million of US dollars in reserves on a balance sheet in the real world. And then since then, it's been about 1 year. Now they're sitting at 1.6 billion. So a lot of people have wondered, way before the market even ran up in November, during this run up here, when they got to almost $500 million, like, where did all the capital come from? Who was investing in it? Because they can't just take your Bitcoin and stuff like that on exchange for it without turning it into US dollars. So it really has raised a lot of questions. So that, what coins have dumped that much circulating supply in? And that's leading a lot to shaky faith, whether they can continue to print so many coins. But let's go back to the news here. It says that Tether is still committed to the process, meaning that they're still committed to the audit process. So that's a good thing, but it makes you wonder, did they really just get rid of Friedman LLP because they wanted to be able to turn around the audit in a short period of time to ease the concerns of many of the holders out there? Or was something with Friedman not going well? Or did they feel that if Friedman, because of potentially eroded credibility thanks to Bitfinex and his work, that maybe their audit would have been meaningless anyways, even if they had come out favorably and said, yes, we've checked the ledgers, it's a 1-to-1, or no, there's not, there's a little discrepancy, here's our findings, but it's within this threshold or margin of error, then people may still be able to find some faith in that. So do a little bit of research, because USDT is a great concept and we've talked about it a few times. I've mentioned it as a potential tactic for people to be able to invest in short periods of time. It's not a long-term hold unless the market's out, but something you can go to rather than cash out completely, and use as a safe haven to be able to cash out at a current price, wait out a dip, and then buy back in during the dip with the USDT back into the coin that you're trying to regain a position in. It's a risky tactic. No trading or no holding is without its own risk. But if something like that goes away, then that would be a big boon, not a big boon, a big loss to the cryptocurrency space. So this is potentially big news. We'll all be waiting to find out what auditing firms are going to step up and take the place of Friedman LLP and actually complete the audit on USDT. So stay tuned to Altcoin Buzz for more news like this. Check us out here. We are on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to hit the bell next to that for notifications. That way throughout the day, you'll get notified when we produce new videos just like this one. You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Altcoin Buzz IO. And follow us on Instagram if you're on there, at Altcoin Buzz. We post information throughout the day. Stay tuned with Jeff, and this is Steve from Altcoin Buzz.